The circular gauge control, once selected and dragged onto a screen, has multiple properties that can be adjusted. Highlight and expand properties to adjust. First is the name. The name can be edited and will be used if scripted. X and Y will control how far from the left or from the top of either the screen or container the object is placed. Width and height can be manually adjusted or can be adjusted by dragging the sizing squares. To source a tag to the circular gauge, highlight the circular gauge and click on the trend icon. The Add Trend menu will appear, which will show you the local machine that you're connected to and allow you to search for any data. Once you find the data that you'd like to attribute to the control, click the tag and hit OK. The path will appear and you should see movement on the control to represent the trend that you've just selected. Scales can be set or changed. As well as major intervals adjusted. Limits can also be added. And when a limit's set, you'll see the colors for low and high represented by blue and red on the gauge. If you'd like to change where the scaling begins, you can do so with the start angle. Default is at 225 degrees. If I change it to 0, you'll see that the low scale starts at 0 degrees of the circle and progresses clockwise. If I'd like to reverse that, I can use the reverse feature to start the high scale at 0 degrees, or my start angle, and progress clockwise. Sweep angle will cover how far around the circle from the start angle the scales will progress. If I change it to 180 degrees, I will only cover half of my gauge. By adjusting my start angle to 270 degrees, I will now fill only the top of my gauge. I can also choose whether I'd like the background of the gauge to be visible or to be transparent. I have the ability to nest multiple circular gauges simply by dragging on screen and then dropping onto another gauge. If I'd like to move the gauge, I can do so by clicking and dragging, or by using the left, right, up, or down arrow keys for greater precision. Resizing can occur simply by clicking and dragging. And again, I can make that gauge transparent to nest nicely on the other. Scripting is available for both gauges. By highlighting, I can choose to either script the gauge on click, or based on value change. Scripting can be done inside of the application. Click on the arrow icon and you'll see where you can place C# scripting for either on click or on value change calls. If scripting is edited, it must be saved and reloaded by reloading the application in order to take effect.